Hi again, Stan here with Chapter 4 of the Sussex Coast Road Travelogue. This time we're taking a closer look at Pevensey and along to Eastbourne. We're going to discover Roman forts, murder most foul, seaside resorts, and other things. Come on and explore with. At the roundabout, we take the A259 exit, which leads to the town of Pevensey. The A259 makes a left turn at the first road and heads towards Pevensey Bay. Do not turn yet, as we need to explore the town itself. Stay straight on the high street and stop for a look at the old castle. The topography has changed a lot since William the Conqueror landed his fleet in 1066. The spit of land has eroded, and now the beach is all pebbles barely above sea level. When the Romans built the original castle in the 3rd century, it was much closer to the sea and stood in a natural defensive position. It is one of 12 forts the Romans built around here in this time. We are not sure who they were being defended from because at the time the local Romans had rebelled, and in 296 AD Rome had to reconquer England. After the Romans left, the Anglo-Saxon community was sheltered here until 471, when raiders captured it and slaughtered everyone. The Anglo-Saxons did come back, but not for a while. On a morning in September of 1066, the locals could have watched from the walls as William's 700 ships landed in the bay facing the fort. In 1067, after the success of the Battle of Hastings, he gave it to his half-brother Robert, who subsequently reinforced the old Roman walls and built a Norman castle within. As the bay was a natural harbor facing Normandy, William wanted to keep it safe. Over the following centuries, it had been ruined and repaired many times. There was even a prison for James I of Scotland. In 1925, the owner, the Duke of Devonshire, gave it to the government, who again repaired it as a historical monument. This is more or less what we see today. The last bit of the castle's history involved being set up as a defensive position against the Germans in World War II. Nearly 1,700 years of fascinating history in one spot. Back to the A259, and we drive the half mile to the lovely small beach resort of Pevensey Bay. This long shingled beach has most of the facilities of the other larger towns along the coast. Of historic interest are the 2 Martello Towers built in the early 1800s as a defense against a Napoleonic invasion, which never came. The area between Pevensey Bay and Eastbourne is known as the Crumbles. Eastbourne ran a small narrow-gauge tramway along this windswept shingle beach. The area now has been completely overdeveloped. During the 1920s, it was the scene of 2 separate grisly murders of young women. The first, 17-year-old Irene Monroe in 1920. On holiday alone, she was befriended by 2 young men in the Archery Tavern. They beat her to death with a brick along the beach and buried her body, but left one foot sticking out. A 13-year-old boy almost tripped over it. Witnesses testified in court that they'd seen the 2 men with Irene. They were found guilty and hung. The next murder was of 38-year-old Emily Kay. She was killed by her lover, Patrick Mahone, in 1924. He had convinced her that they would be married and emigrate to South Africa. She had withdrawn over 400 pounds and given it to Patrick. She did not know that he was already married. In the cottage they had rented near the beach, Patrick killed Emily and proceeded to dismember and burn her body. Pieces of the pulverized bones were spread around the garden. With the help of his wife, the police found enough evidence to have him convicted of Emily's murder. He too was hung. Driving along the coast from Pevensey Bay for about a mile, then we come to Eastbourne. Going south towards the sea will take us to the Seafront Marina. Opened in 1993, it is now one of the biggest marinas in all of Europe. It has all the facilities, including fuel docks, boat repair, chandlers, private yacht and fish boat berthing. Around the marina, various types of housing developments have been built, plus commercial enterprises, including a shopping center and restaurants. The entrance to the harbor is marked by yet another of the Martello Towers. This project has added much to the growth of Eastbourne, and in the last 25 years it has now grown to a population of over 100,000. Human habitation area goes back to before the Celts in 500 BC. Eastbourne became a seaside resort when in the summer of 1780 King George III's children stayed here to enjoy the health benefits of the sea. It was not until the end of the 1800s that the Duke of Devonshire developed a purpose-built seaside town. By 1890, the population had jumped from 4,000 to 35,000. World War II was devastating for the town as it was continually raided by German bombers. Since the war, Eastbourne has grown continually as a holiday resort and a commercial center. The Neo-Greco Bandstand with its blue dome is unique to the UK. When opened in 1935, the semicircular structure could hold 3,500 people on the main floor and 2 balconies. Due to health and safety, the number of attendees had been cut to 1,600. For many years, military bands would play most days from spring until the end of October. Over the years, though, the attendance started to drop, and the performances were cut back. In 2001, to save the bandstand and bring in new audiences, they put on rock and swing concerts. This was extended to include the last night of the proms and the 1812 overture, with fireworks. Attending a performance, you can enjoy a bit of what it was like for your grandparents' holiday at the sea. If you do attend a performance, take a look at the plaque to local bandsman John Wesley Woodward. He performed on the Titanic as it sank in 1912. Another historic site is the Redoubt Fortress and Museum. Built over 200 years ago to protect England from a Napoleonic invasion, the circular moated fort was used as late as World War II to protect the country from a German invasion. Now, fully restored, it houses military collections from 3 separate regiments, plus displays from the current armed forces. For the art lover, a visit to the Towner Art Gallery is a must. Upon his death in 1920, late Alderman John Towner bequeathed the town with 22 paintings and £6,000 to start an art gallery. Opening in 1923, the art gallery was located in an 18th century manor house in the Old Town. The gallery grew slowly with donations from major artists and with temporary exhibitions. With the sale of the manor house, the gallery was closed in 2005. A new building was opened in 2009 with a great paint job. Its architecture is designed to reflect the South Downs, which rise up behind Eastbourne. The Towner Art Gallery has been described as the largest gallery in the south of England. Eastbourne is a gentler, more sophisticated version of Brighton. The pier is still a big attraction, but like many of the wooden South Coast piers, it has suffered fire damage, but has been reopened. The Victorian period houses along 3 miles of the seafront have been well maintained and keep the air of a classic seaside resort. The highlight of the promenade is the beautiful floral display called the Carpet Gardens. Flowers from around the world add to the town's popularity. The Old Town shopping area in Eastbourne, called Little Chelsea, has been named one of the coolest places in England. It is full of boutiques, antique stores, craft shops, and eateries. Eastbourne used to be called God's Waiting Room because of the number of older people retiring here. This has changed now, with the average age dropping below 45. It now has industries employing thousands and many London commuters looking for a lovely, affordable place to live. That covers Pevensey and Eastbourne in Chapter 4. I hope you've enjoyed exploring with me. As always, please press the like button, share this with your friends, and Chapter 5 will follow the cliffs from Beachy Head to Exeat. To be notified when it is published, press the subscribe button. If you're interested in the book this was based on, follow the link below in the description. Join me next time and see what we can find. Taking a closer look, this is Stan saying bye for now.